range LARP and flat range theatrics, the abjecalities of deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated, aren't we, viewer? Members of the League of LARP.
Breaking news brought to you by LARP News Network. Hi, I'm Ben Dover, and we have a developing story out on the flat range somewhere in Arizona where a LARPer has been spotted trying to burn down targets at the flat range. Yes, we believe the LARPer, who recently changed his name to Administrative Results, is at the flat range right now attempting to entertain the masses with subpar YouTube videos. We go live now to the flat range.
Gentlemen, the non-generic Christian Craighead here, Talking Balaclava. Today we're going over revisiting my AKM setup. So wanted to come back and look at this again because some things have changed and this setup is near and dear to my heart. So that's my YouTube channel. We can talk about whatever I want. So welcome back. Before we dive into the rifle setup, I want to talk about my kit because I think I get asked questions when I wear a kit in the video and don't talk about it. Those questions pop up in the comments on YouTube. And so to negate this, what I'll do is just talk about the kit. So we'll start with the belt line. So of course, if you haven't figured out, this kit and video is inspired by Christian Craighead, the SAS operator who was in Nairobi back in 2019 in January. Very cool dude, very inspirational because I don't really look up to the biggest sports players. I am more so fans of guys that risk it all and put their lives on the line for a bigger cause than themselves. And Christian Craighead is one of those guys. And the cool thing about the internet is you get to go see and follow this guy on Instagram. When he first made an Instagram, fun fact, we're gonna diverge. When he first made an Instagram, I didn't believe it was him because I thought maybe someone would have wised up and catfished us all, the gun community, by making the Christian Craighead account because in theory he does wear a balaclava. So turned out to be him. Really cool dude, and I'm really happy to see him have an Instagram because it's like, to me, this is mind blowing. All right, so diving into the kit. So this is a Cry belt. This is a Cry Riggers belt right here. This was inspired by Christian Craighead's kit. I'll throw the picture on in the YouTube video and you'll see it overlay. All right, so talking points. So this is an S-Tac mag pouch. All right, so fun fact, this is designed for ARs, right? So things to consider when running a dedicated AK setup. I typically don't run an AK with this belt line. One thing I'd recommend, so this is the cameraman's belt and you'll see me rock his gear a lot. The reason we do that, we intermix gear to a certain extent. The reason is that it allows us to generate more videos. So for instance, you can fit a 20 round Magpul mag in here if you just squeeze it in here, and you can kind of like jimmy it in by getting the lip in there. You can still access it. It still goes in there, right? You can still get it in there. It's not necessarily designed for it, so that may issue flaws. You might have a failure point. Ultimately, you should be fine. It may just slow down your reload, but you might die, so whatever. But it's not recommended, right? Now, we'll say something like this with a First Spear crank pouch. These pouches are kind of pricey, but they allow you a much wider variety of mag retention. The pouch contorts the mag itself. I mean, it's still the same pull out. So moving back to the belt. All right, so this is the Safariland Holster. Safariland has really hard names, so one second. Safariland 6354 DO832. It's for the Glock 17. In the 22 with the Surefire X300. Safariland holster names are hard to pronounce, so whatever. I do have the Fast Boy setup on here, right? So you can easily take the pistol off and put it back on. Good for integrating different holsters, which I like to do. Some HSGI Taco mag pouches, and of course, keep the gloves handy. Now, get that out of the way. Next up, actually, I'm gonna put my sunglasses on after I get the plate carrier off. So, next we'll go over the plate carrier. An interesting point of contention. All right, so I'm throwing sunglasses on because I am filming into the sun. Usually I wear eye pro when you go shooting, and I always encourage you to wear eye pro and ear pro, of course, but wear eye pro because your eyes are valuable. It's just we're in a balaclava and eye pro. Sometimes these bitches fog up and we're trying to look cool in the flat range and LARP. But safety first, don't be an idiot like me. So going over the plate carrier setup. So this is a Faro Concepts Slickster right here. This is one of their earlier models, and you can kind of see I have the mag pouches up higher, but that's just how I wanted to configure this plate carrier for the time being. It was a little goofy having the mag pouches kind of sit higher as opposed to where like a normal AR mags sit, but this is the price you pay when you do dumb AK shit. So working down the carrier. little fun Oryx pouch tucked away under there for a nice little nod to the Elysium movie. This is a parachuter gear placard. Now, so these are these for the AK mags, right? So far they're doing pretty well. My biggest issue with these, and I got this for free, so I got the placard for free. So beggars can't be choosers too much, but it's kind of cool. He sent me some gear to check out and look at. But my big complaints, my chief complaints is, of course, just typically the mag retention, especially when you're running gloves. So me using an AK, if you ever ran an AK for more than 5 seconds, you know that AKs are tough on you, especially if you're a little like me. And you'll find out that AK handguards burn up really quick. So you typically find guys wearing gloves, right? Now, the tactile functions of your fingertips, of your digits, get lost when you start using fine-tuned things such as trying to find the retention band on a high-placed chest rig or a high-placed mag pouch on a plate carrier when it's already higher up than it needs to be. All right, so normally when I run this plate carrier, the slickster in the configurations for an AR-15. So it's the shingle method where it's retained to your body with a cummerbund, right? And those mags a little bit lower. You're not worried about fighting or defeating a retention device. So gloves and that problem doesn't exist. But with an AK, you take on a new set of weird and nuanced challenges, such as defeating the retention device with gloves. Why, as gun guys, are we so into the details? Because details are nice. Details are nice. It's holding up good. It looks good. I like it. Can't complain. Moving down. So I'm moving along with the SAS and Nairobi vibes, right? I mean, this is definitely not perfect because he uses a Cry AVS. I looked at his kit, and replicating it would be a lot of money. Anyway, we'll dive into that later. This is a parachuter knife retention device or a knife holder. So this is actually really interesting because it's Velcroed, it's soft Velcroed on the inside. Yeah, so it has a soft Velcro on the inside of this sleeve, and you attach your male Velcro, whatever. Yeah, attach your male.
It's hook versus the loop.
Oh, is it hook versus the loop?
Yeah.
You attach your male Velcro to the female Velcro. So the knife is a bush lore, it's a Condor bush lore knife, right? So this knife is actually pretty cheap. I just snagged it off good old Amazon for like 50 bucks because I wanted a bushcraft style knife that fits along with Christian Craighead's kit. Just a little nod to the whole thing. As gun guys, we are nerds like that, so whatever. It's a nice little knife, nothing too crazy. I wanted to get the one that he had particular, but those knives are going for like $500+. And it's just, I couldn't really justify it. This being more so a gun channel, not like a bushcraft knife channel, couldn't really justify it yet. Maybe if I get stupid rich off YouTube, which I doubt. But we're just selling shirts to help pay for ammo and other nuanced costs. So I feel like that'd be a disservice to my audience. It wouldn't be necessarily the right thing to do at the time, unless I was paying for it out of pocket, of course, which I didn't want to do. So settled with a much more economic version. And I'm also a gun guy, not a knife guy.
That's Travis Haley.
Oh yeah, there's a Dragonfly out here. Travis Haley's out here.
You get it.
It's always beneficial to have a good blade on your kit floating around. So if you haven't noticed, this is the first spear tube method. I don't believe these are the actual first spear tubes, but it is that same design, the quick release. I'm a big fan of these. These are by, oh no, these actually are the first spear tubes. Oh, all right, cool. So this cummerbund was designed by, I want to say, Blaze Defense Systems and Felix Defense Systems. I don't know which one. I can't remember who I bought it from, but both of those names throw it out there. So goods and bads of this plate carrier setup is you lose a little space with the retention of the cummerbund because when you're running a slick, a lot of times you can rely on these front 2 pockets of the retention, and maybe even though if you're skinnier, the next 2 pockets to hold stuff, medical, radio, stuff like that. You kind of lose it with these because they get more so tucked underneath. Like if you haven't noticed, there's not really a radio mounted to here. So if I wanted to have a radio for comms on my person, I have to find a different method and add a different pouch somewhere else. Pros and cons, right? Trade-offs, nuances, details. This is a sword multi-purpose pouch. I don't believe it's technically a dump pouch. I could be wrong, but this is a pretty nice designed pouch. I believe I've seen pictures of high-speed Australian guys rocking this in Afghanistan is what I want to say where I saw this. And they were actually rocking it in the same configuration where it was up front. Kind of cool, a good idea. You can have a notepad, stuff like that. And funny enough, there is retention in here, so if you want to hold medical, other supplies, markers, other bullshit like that, you can throw in there. Whatever your heart desires for the big LARP. Also, fun fact, is that this can hold another pouch inside, which can have some armor on the interior as well. So if you wanted to fit some armor in there, I don't know if you'd be rocking, a hard plate of some kind, because it'd be hitting your, this area, as opposed to, maybe some sort of soft panel. Things to consider. It's your prerogative. All right. Believe that covers the plate carrier, and of course we have the Blackbeard patch on the back. because I'm a pirate at heart. At least I've pirated a car or something on the internet. I don't know. All right. So after the nice little word salad of all the gear, well, I guess maybe we could cover what I'm wearing. You know what? Yeah, gun guys, we go full retard. So this is an Arcturix balaclava. It's actually funny enough, I never answered that question because Craig Hopper shirt. So you can actually. Let's go full retard, f it, it's my channel. So you can actually find Christian Craighead kit on his page. He talks about what he wears, his kit, how he dives into it, but there's also articles written up on it. The Reptile House did a good write-up on his kit. So they talked about and going into nuances. So I believe he was wearing like a Fall Raven shirt, or he was wearing some like designer brand jeans, but he was also rocking some La Sportiva boulders, all right? These bitches are actually pretty sweet. All right, I think that covers everything as far as my external appearance, minus my underwear, which I'll leave a secret for the true fans. And we're gonna dive into the AKM setup. Weapon is on safe. So what's changed? We'll go over that real quick. Nothing too crazy has changed, but a lot of crazy has changed. Are you ready?
Yeah, what time did you say you're gonna do the live?
7:30.
Okay, cool.
But I like the lime and cilantro version of Mexican food. The name of the Father, the Son, and Mikhail Kalashnikov. All right, now we've gone over all the gear enough, so let's dive into the actual rifle setup, okay? So we'll go the patented Grantham method. We'll go tip the butt because he's the one that patented that. Slant brake up here. We have a Surefire M300. All right, then we have it on an HSP Thorntail mount on an RS Regulate barrel mount. Zenitco Pursed. Number 4, so it's just the IR and red dot. There's no illuminator on there. With a pressure pad on a Ultimac rail. This is a Warsaw wood customized dong with a M-LOK insert. If you're wondering, hey man, you have all this M-LOK with no M-LOK attachments. Hey, they're on the way. I'm probably gonna do a hot button over here so I can activate the flashlight of my choosing, because right now it's just ghetto rigged to the side over here. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, the Warsaw wooden finish, it's not a necessary thing to throw on a peasant gun because AKs are just ultimately peasant guns, but it definitely has added to the aesthetic rather nicely, and I'm very happy with it. I think it makes the gun pop, and it has a totally new sex appeal. So this is a, touching back on it, this is a Polish receiver on a Romanian parts kit build. Threw it together, built it myself, very fun and high speedy. The rear sight's a little loose, we'll tighten that down. RS Regulate mount, so last you saw, I had an EOTech mounted on a Strike Industries rail, which is goofy as f. So, got rid of that. It's just a super cheap piece of equipment because when I built this AK, it was before everything kicked off, before ammo got crazy expensive, and before the world and Western society went to shit. Now, I take it a little bit more serious and I upped the ante, and we added on the side rail with an RS Regulate mount. And I'm a big fan of the RS Regulate mount. These things are like highly recommended. All right, now EOTech EXPS3. Drilled out the rear trunnion and put it in the AKM Defense 1913 rear trunnion and attached a SIG minimalist stock to it. This is like some goofy saw grip. I might switch this out sooner or later. All right, so things I want to add and change up on the gun, right? So one thing I'm going to do is probably throw on a small or large mod light, maybe a dual fuel head of some kind. And I'm thinking of either doing, I'm debating between the OKW head or the PLH V2 head. I'm kind of torn between the two. And of course, I think I'm going to add a M-LOK slot up here for a sling so I can run the QD points, because there's a QD point back here, but I got nothing for a QD point up front. But for as far as the sling, I'm running a Blue Force Gear Larry Vickers VTAC sling. Very nice padding, so once you get that, I'll throw on a QD points. So it'll be pretty slick. How's the gun holding up? So common questions I get is heat. So how's the heat doing to the pressure pad, to the purse, and other things like that? I haven't noticed any issues yet. I kind of have the purse sitting up to where the gas tube and the block over here meet, so I haven't noticed any issues yet.
Is that the original dong from the kit?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you know the finish on that dong?
I don't know the finish. I'd have to ask Warsaw Wood, and I'm sure after we're done filming, I can go and ask them and maybe just asterisk it in, because it's a good question. Gentlemen, if you enjoy the channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. We're gonna go ahead and close out the video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, do all the YouTube bull, and support the channel in any way, shape, or form. If you do enjoy this content, feel free to join the Patreon, feel free to snag a shirt. Helps the channel out, helps with funding projects because this shit is expensive, and I'm trying not to go into debt to fund free content. Dave Ramsey would crucify me, so things to consider. All right, catch you on the flip.
Somebody ought to smack you into next week.
took from me. I know that I am so much better. I'm better off when I look at what I've done now that we